Just a quick one before we dive in. I've just opened up 2 brand new ways to work with me. If you're an established beauty professional who's ready to increase your revenue, either in your clinic or by moving into the online mentoring and educational space, you can join me for a 2-month container where we build and validate your first online offer or your next big move. Or if you're ready to go all in, there is a 7-month private mentorship where we build, launch and scale your new revenue stream together. If you're not sure which one's right for you, I'm offering a handful of free business clarity calls, quick and powerful to map out your fastest path and to see which container fits best. Just DM me the word revenue on Instagram or check the link in the show notes and email me. Let's get into the episode.
Welcome to the Beauty Build podcast with me, Zara King. As a coach for beauty pros, it is my mission to help you earn more, work less, and create an unstoppable mindset. This is the show where we explore all of that. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting your beauty business, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and join us on the journey. And for more, get yourself inside my private community, The Beauty Build on Facebook.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Today's topic of discussion is marketing and creating a strong brand identity. And I really like this topic because it reminds me of when I first started my beauty business and had absolutely no idea. Hello, you gorgeous beauty pros. Just a quick one from me. If you are looking to earn 4-figure weeks, know how to price your services as luxury and actually earn a decent living from doing this gorgeous thing that we call beauty, then you need to be inside my VIP day happening Sunday, the 10th of December. We are building it big. We are looking at how to streamline absolutely everything, how to earn more, how to price properly, how to have boundaries and policies that serve you and your business time and time again, and how to implement absolutely everything so that your clients love you, stick with you, and rave about you. So if you want to sign up, the link is in the description. If you've got any questions, just ping me a message on any of my socials and I shall see you there. And then when I came to realize what kind of marketing really meant and what brand identity I wanted to have, it was just years and years and years later. And it just makes me think, wow, there are probably some people out there that might be listening to this that are in that boat that I was in, that have absolutely no idea, but have wanted to start a beauty business or are starting a beauty business or, and they probably don't know anything about this as well. So at the same time as nowadays, I feel like I'm teaching you to suck eggs when I talk about things like, in my eyes, as simple as marketing and as simple as branding. It just makes me remember back when I first started my business and even in the first few years of being mobile, that I really actually had no idea what even these things were really, because I had no business training. I had no marketing training. And, when I did my beauty courses, no one taught me these things. And it's probably the same for a lot of you out there now. If you've just qualified in a certain treatment or you've just done level 2 or level 3 or whatever, you're being taught how to do the actual beauty treatments that you want to do. You're probably not being taught how to run your business if you're going to be going full-time self-employed, or if you're going to be working in someone else's salon, but you're still self-employed and you need to grow your clientele list yourself, or if your dream is to open a salon one day and, do all of those type of things and no one's teaching you this. It really is important for you to think you need to have the business skills. You can't just have the actual treatment skills. It's just not the case. So if you're in college now and you're studying to become a beauty therapist or whatever, I would highly, highly recommend that you do a marketing course or a business course, something that's going to teach you the basics of marketing and branding, because that is what it is. Marketing it's promoting your business, right? It's promoting your products or your services. Okay. So marketing includes your, advertising, your social media, your everything that you put out there with your name on it out into the world. That is marketing. And on the flip side of it, there's market research, which you need to be able to know how to kind of do to a certain degree if you want to know what's going on in the world of beauty and everyone else around you. And yeah, I just think this kind of thing is really invaluable. And I've been looking forward to talking about this topic because it's something that I wish I'd stumbled across myself 12 years ago. And I remember I came out of my courses and like finishing my beauty qualifications, and I'd literally just started with the tools that I had in my kit, which was, you know, put your name out there on Facebook, tell your friends and family, and start getting word of mouth referrals and that type of thing. And it was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get some consultation cards with my logo on it, and I'm going to, what else did I do? That was it. I literally got consultation cards with my name on it. It was like client record kind of cards. I remember them like it was yesterday. I used to keep them in a small case with a lock on it kind of thing, which I never had the key for. And I just remember building them up and feeling super proud because they had my logo on. They were designed how I wanted them to look. And I just remember feeling super proud of every time I got a new one filled out, because that was my main thing. It was like, how many clients am I going to get? And all of these consultation cards really represented how many clients I had gotten. And I just loved it. And that's all I did, I think. I put a logo on some consultation cards, and then I went out mobile and I saw people, and I waited on word of mouth referrals, and I, you know, just built it up slowly. And I did do that. I was doing my mobile beauty business alongside my other full-time job at the time. So yeah, for me, it was kind of a slow progress in the mobile side until I did actually become fully booked. And the only other thing I advertised on was Facebook. I think I started a Facebook business page not long after I set up, but I was using my personal page to tell people as well. And I don't think I started an Instagram until quite a while later. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think I started that until a little while later. And that is all I did, nothing else. And the real business training that I had in regards to growing my beauty business didn't come until, I don't think I really got into it until probably around 2013 or 14. Would have been before I had Aaliyah, my eldest, because it would have been just before I'd gone into salon. Well, I was busy anyway, you know, mobile and everything. But when I went into salon, I wanted to up the ante and help the salon as well to get more clientele for themselves. And I'd learnt loads along the way, but it wasn't until then. And then after that, when I quit my full-time job and had to make it work, you know, so it was years and years and years. Anyway, I just feel like this stuff is the real stuff you need to know. You can do the do, and you can be quite good at it, but you don't need to actually have to be perfect at it. And actually, this is why there are some people in the same areas that are, you know, they do roughly the same treatments and things, and one might not have even been as qualified as long as the other, but they can be better, like in the sense of being better fully booked, right? Their business could be earning more money, they could be making more money. And the reason for that is because they have the business and the marketing side down. They've learnt this stuff, and it can be a make or break for your business. It really can, because if you don't know what to do at all, if you've got the slightest idea, you can probably wing it a bit like I did, and you can probably keep going. You can probably build up slowly. But I think the people that have no idea and they just don't continue, they don't grow, they don't learn, and they stay where they are with their knowledge and with their marketing skill or whatever, I don't think they ever get there. And that's a shame, because it's not rocket science. It's not easy, but there is a basic to marketing, you know. And I think the basics of marketing for any business, but especially in the beauty industry, is figuring out who you want to talk to in your marketing. So everything that you put out is marketing, let's just say that. So wherever you're sharing your business name, you're promoting your services, your products, whatever, that is your marketing. So it's figuring out really and truly who you want to talk to within that marketing. So is it that you want to talk to people of a certain age range that are into X, Y, and Z, that type of thing? Who is the ideal client? And we've done an episode on that. You can go back and listen to Ideal Client Attraction, I think it was called, the episode on that. And that will really help you figure it out too. But that's kind of the basic thing. Who do you want to talk to in your marketing? And it changes over time. I remember when I was talking to one type of demographic or one type of person when I was mobile, and then of course when I went in salon I was kind of like talking to a different type of person, right? And I really honed in on it when I went home-based and quit my full-time job. And that was when I knew who I really needed. I needed to change it again. It wasn't that I needed, people that were super busy and needed a bit, mobile service anymore or whatever. It was people that wanted that private luxury one-to-one appointment, who wouldn't be interrupted, who really valued time, who really valued efficiency and luxury. And it was like women of a certain age who had older grown-up children, so they were available during the daytime because they weren't tied down with like 1-year-olds hanging off of them, that type of thing. So it was getting crystal clear on who the ideal client for me really was, and then everything that I put out in my marketing, it was speaking to them. I think that's literally the basics that you can learn when it comes to marketing any business. Who is it that you're talking to? And obviously do your research. Do your research on those people, and do your research on the kind of business that you are promoting as well, and on the services that you're promoting. Do as much market research as you can as well, because although I do say you can stand out from the crowd in a saturated market in this industry, which you absolutely can, I do still think it's a very good idea to know what's going on around you. It's just for your information, and just also so that you know how to have the upper hand. I remember when I used to go into a new salon in the area, number one, I do actually love having a treatment. So it's not a case of me just being nosy and being, a bit sneaky and going in just for the info. I actually love having a treatment done, and I like to support other people too. So if there was a new lash tech, if there was a new nail tech, if there was a new salon that opened up, I'd have a little look. I wanted to see. Yeah, I could go in and get a price list and walk away, but actually I wanted to sit in the chair and see what the service was like, so that I knew exactly what it is that made me stand out. And every time I went, it gave me a confidence boost, because I would know there were certain elements of things that I was doing that sat better with me, felt better, and I think, in my opinion, it would have wowed my ideal client even more if they'd had to compare the two. And that's just invaluable information, isn't it? For you to know how to improve your service, improve your space, improve your skills, improve your marketing. So market research is a really big thing. Keep doing it all the time. Always research and see where you can implement new things into your beauty business to help you stand out from the crowd. And then also it helps you set the goals and the objectives, doesn't it? If you've got something going on in the business that you really want to reach, so you really want to reach a new income level, or you really want to advertise a new treatment by the end of the year, and you want to get trained in it and then advertise it and then sell it out, right? Market research is really going to help you with that goal and executing the goal and breaking it down into the steps, because you're going to figure out, okay, this is how these people are doing it. This is what this is. All of this is information. The more you can learn, the more you can take in, and the more you can expand your knowledge, the more you're going to grow as a person, and therefore the more your business is going to grow. So it's always worth it, so that you can set those goals and keep going and do everything to the best of your ability. So I think with marketing goals, always have a look. I do my goals every year, quarter, and every month, and break them down into weeks, break them down into the days. I do get overwhelmed at times, don't get me wrong, because I think, blimey, I've lost my way, or I've got this going on or that going on. But I always do have something marketing wise where I'm like, this is the baseline, at the moment. And if I want to set a goal, then it has to be on the board, in the book, however you do it, and broken down. I think it's a really good idea to always have your marketing at the forefront of your brain. When it comes to having marketing goals and having it on my mind all the time, it comes into my branding like hand in hand, because I feel like the branding is what we get super caught up on. Even me, obviously, the colours, the way it looks, the professionalism, the vibrancy of the images, the logos, the fonts, everything, the shapes. I don't know if you've ever done a brand board or a mood board before, if you're listening to this. But I feel like that's the kind of thing that people would happily dive into every week, every month, if they had to. Like if somebody said to them, work on your marketing, they'd probably go, right, I know what to do. I'll pull out a vision board, I'll pull out a brand board, and I'll start again, and I'll have a look. Does it feel good? Is it looking good? And you know what? I know it's the fun stuff. I know it is, because I love to do it myself. And I'm just thinking about a time when I think the first ever mood board thing that I did for the beauty build was literally just about 6 different hex codes from Canva, about 6 different shapes, and then it was about 3 fonts, I think, 2 or 3 fonts. And I'd done a brand photo shoot anyway, so there was a few different images of me on there, and that was it. And I thought it was really good. Anyway, the second one I did, I looked back on it and I thought, oh my goodness, it was awful. I think that's the mindset, and that's the thing that makes us stop and get bombarded and overwhelmed with the things that don't matter, because we do look back and we go, oh, that doesn't look as good. But I think if you can be 100% happy with the fact that times change, everything moves forward, and that's always going to happen because technology changes, and even the way an image looks on your phone or on your iPad or on your computer or whatever, or TVs as well, remember, let's not forget that. It's the biggest way we're advertised to, right? But when even things in the way that we see them with our eyes, it changes over time. So of course things like that are going to change, but guess what? It is not the be all and end all. Like, that isn't the most important work when it comes to your branding. That is not the most important work. It's not the colours, the fonts, the logos and the shapes that you put onto a brand board on Canva. That isn't the most important work, but it's the thing that we get caught up the most on, especially me, because I'm such a visual person and I like to be creative. So for me, I'm like, oh, but it's the times when I actually produce something quite quickly and put it out there that I'm like, you know what, that does look good, and I'm happy with that, and I'm leaving it. I know I'm digressing a little bit here, but it makes me wonder about how many people are like me and how many people do that. And I think you need to shift the mindset to, like, it's never going to be perfect, because even from me, a past perfectionist, I can still sit here now and say what I've got out there today isn't perfect. And it just won't ever be, because in my eyes, it just won't be. And I used to try and strive for perfection all the time, and I've completely gotten over it. Sorry, not completely, but I have had to get over it to the point where I am like, it's fine, because it's just never going to be perfect. And I don't want to get bogged down doing that busy work when I've got so many other important things that could be being done to earn my business more money. There's more important marketing, and there's more important parts of my brand that need to be sorted before the fonts, the colours and the logos and all the rest of it. So what are they? I suppose you're probably thinking. And this is what it is, right? You need to think about, when it comes to your branding, you need to think, how am I unique? How is my brand unique, and why are people going to look at it and know that it's me at a glance, at a second's glance, like when they're scrolling on social media? Because let's face it, in this day and age, the most of our marketing that we're doing in our beauty business, especially in the beauty industry as well, when the marketing budget isn't absolutely huge, right? I'm talking about self-employed, work from home, rent a space, in the salon, whatever you're doing, or mobile beauty therapists here. I'm not talking about huge, big companies with big marketing budgets, okay? So yes, all of it, or majority of it, is all on social media. And so you want to stop the scroll. So really and truly, it's about what is most, what shouts to my audience, because we know who they are, and what stops the scroll. That is what's most important in your branding. You do want people to recognize you. You do want people to think after a while of seeing you that yes, they know it's you just by quickly seeing something. But you need to be unique. And the other thing you need to work on is the fact that your strong brand will come through with whatever your brand message is. So the best thing for you to do, instead of figuring out what you want your fancy logo to look like, or what you want, it's important, don't get me wrong. Please don't just do something on Word and like screenshot it and put that out there. That's not okay. But what you really need to do is figure out the brand message. So that type of thing for me came from like, well, what are my values? What do I want my brand message to be? What do I want people to know me for? What do I want my clients to feel when they walk away from the beauty room? When they walk away from me, what do I want them to feel? And when I was doing things mobile, it was the fact that I was a perfectionist, right? It was that I really wanted people to know that I would never leave them without them being perfectly happy. They had that full level of service from me where I was, and you could say it cut off my nose to spite my face, because of course some people would take the mick, but I would always be like, tell me if you're happy, and don't be afraid to tell me if you're not, if there's any little thing that you want tweaked, or if you need to talk to me about anything. I was always that person that was like super open for the line of conversation about, if they had any queries. And that changed. Of course, that changed. But at that point, I still knew that was the message. That was the feeling that I wanted them to be left with, that I was 100% there for them. I 100% wanted them to be happy, and they were my main priority. And the results were my main thing. I was completely results driven. I wanted them to feel the best, look the best. I wanted the results to be the best. That was my message. And then I think as I evolved, and it got a bit muddled, I'm not going to lie. When I went into salon, I do think it got a bit muddled because I was working full time. I was helping the girls in the salon, and I was kind of just fully booked as it anyway. So I wasn't really working on things like my brand message and getting it out there. And I was in the back beauty room of the salon. I wasn't at the front. It wasn't my name on the door. It was, the family business. It wasn't something that I had that hand in, so it got a bit muddled for me, I would say, but I was still fully booked with the people that had followed me from being mobile, and then a few that added on through the footfall of the salon. And then it was when I went home base, it was like, right, well, now what is my message? And there was a point where, and I think this had always come through, but I realised what it was. I sort of dug a bit deeper, and I realised that it wasn't just perfectionism. It was that I'm really inspired by beauty, but I am powered by knowledge. And that was my brand sort of mission and statement that I would always try to get across to people, was that I'm fully fueled by knowledge, and that I will always pass that on to my clients. I'll always pass that on to other beauty professionals, and I'll always be striving to be better and better and better. So it wasn't quite the perfect thing anymore. It wasn't perfectionism. It was more a case of, this is what I'm powered by, and this knowledge is always going to help me grow and help you grow and help us grow together and help, all the rest of it. And that was the message. And I loved the fact that for me, that did actually come naturally. That actually came naturally. I don't know. I think where I was in a corporate sales career, I read a lot of books. I, had already done personal development. I had gotten into other areas of my life personally, and that type of thing came naturally to me at a certain point, to know what I was doing and know where I was putting that. It was on my website and all the rest of it. But if that doesn't come quite naturally to you, that is what you should really do. Like, focus it on your values and how you want your clients to feel when they leave your salon or your beauty room or whatever it is that however you operate your business. What is that message? What is that feeling that you want them to feel? And that is your brand. That's the most important thing about your brand. It's not the logos, colours and fonts. It's the perception that other people have of you and your business when they look at you. So wherever they're seeing you, what is that perception that they have of you, that lasting impression, that feeling that you give them, whether they're a client of yours or not? They need to see that through what you're putting out there into the big wide world. So that is what it is, and it has to be consistent. That's the only caveat with this, is it has to be consistent to build up a strong brand, which is what I wanted to talk about today, and how to make it strong, how to make people stop the scroll. It has to be consistent, and not only consistent in one thing that you're doing, as in on Facebook, whatever. That brand message has to be consistent across every single area that you show up. So in and offline, on and offline, it needs to be present in your salon. That needs to be present through your conversations, which is why I say root it in your values, because it makes more sense to do so, because you'll feel much more comfortable talking to people, and really they'll get that vibe from you and feel that really is your true brand message when it's rooted in your values. And it's even better, and I say that even more so, 'cause obviously self-employed beauty pros, that's the type of thing, you're working on your own, so it would be crazy for you to adopt a brand value message that completely doesn't align to who you are as a person, because you're the face of your business, right? You're the one that does the treatments, you're the one that's touching people, so it needs to be felt. It needs to be obvious for when people are coming to you that's what they're going to get. That's the feeling that they have, and they see that on and offline. So, if you're showing up on Facebook and Instagram, that needs to be a cohesive message across both platforms. If you're showing up on a website on Google, it needs to be across that platform as well. It needs to be consistent across all bases, and that can be as easy as just having a mission statement and sticking to it, and making sure that is what you become known for, right? So there's certain ways that you can make this simple for yourself, but it'll create such a strong brand message for you. And I really hope that you do it, because it actually gives me I get really excited talking about brand messages and creating a strong brand, because I think it comes with a certain level of pride. And I don't know about you, but when I was, when you're growing something new, when you're growing something like a beauty business or any business, and it's your baby, actually gives me the feels. It gives me the tingles talking about it, because I think it's so exciting that you can make a new mark on something, an imprint on people, and show them this is what I stand for, this is my brand, and give them that lasting memory that they have of you. And I get really passionate about stuff like that. But in this, in this digital age that we live in this day and age, shall we say, social media is like the hugest thing. So to be doing this, to be growing your marketing, to be building such a strong brand in this day and age, I feel like you're in such a good position, because a lot of this stuff that you can do is for free. You don't have to pay for a lot of this stuff. You can actually create such a strong brand and market to your ideal clients for free, which is insane to me. When I started my mobile business, there was no one on Instagram looking for beauty pros. I had to do leaflets. I had to tell people. Through face-to-face. I had to go out there, tell my friends and family to get out there as well and say, oh, do you know anyone, This day and age, everyone is so lucky. The people that are coming into this industry fresh from college now, or from specialised qualification courses right now, are so lucky. Yeah, I know it's like a double-edged sword, this whole social media thing. But if you get these bits down, and if you use it consistently, and you show up like as much as you can in your consistent routine, then you're going to smash it over time. And that's what it takes. It takes time. It takes effort, patience, and the right amount of urgency with certain things. But you have the world is your oyster on social media. It's unbelievable. If you focus on the bits that we've spoken about today, for example, and if you hone in on your SEO, which is your search engine optimization, everything is powered by that, by the way, right now. So even Instagram and Facebook, like your cover photo on Facebook, for example, the AI in Facebook will be screening that cover photo for keywords. So that means that Facebook's algorithm, the AI that's included in that, is screening for keywords to show people as per their interests. What a day to be living in. What a world to be alive in. I know it's a crazy world we live in. It's a scary world we live in, but that is a benefit. If we can take the good things out of things, let's do that. I wish back then someone had told me that, if I put this on Facebook, it would be scanning it and showing it to the right people for me based on the keywords that I used. Incredible. Marketing is such a crazy thing these days online. And I think you're in such a good position to be able to utilise that, as long as you can focus on things like your SEO. So in your captions, in your reels, on Instagram, on your Google, right? On your Google My Business, on your website. I think it's really good, by the way, to have a website. Some people come out of college, some people come out of their courses, and they don't think they need a website. They think this is just, this is a small business that I can run on social media for free. Actually, do you know what? Take it seriously. Take it really seriously. If you want this to become your big business, have a website. Why would you not? This is a business. Have a website. Be on Google. Be on all of the search engines, and treat it like a professional business. Okay. Set up email marketing. The best thing you can do is set up email marketing and create a list. Start growing an email list. Okay. That's one of the best ways you can market to your ideal clients. And the other best way that you can do that, the other best form of your marketing, shall I say, are your testimonials and your reviews from your happy clients. So build those up as you go along as well. That's really going to build a strong brand. So things like your engaging content, things like, stopping the scroll and letting people recognize that it's you through everything that you do, and obviously having that really strong brand message, that is going to be strengthened when you use marketing such as reviews, right? So if you make them look good, if you post them online, if you, use those in your content or on your emails and put them on your website and all of that type of thing, that is the strongest piece of marketing that any business can do. Not just in the beauty world, but any business, but especially because you are touching people, you are giving them a service that makes a transformation, you are, before and afters and all that type of thing. So people are going to want to buy from the people that they trust. People are going to want to come in and buy from you, and people always buy from people. If you haven't heard that saying before, I should have said it earlier maybe. People buy from people, which is why the feelings and the brand message and all the rest of it come before the fonts and the logos. But what I will say on that as well is that once your brand message is sorted and that's consistent throughout, the other thing to do is make sure that, yes, your logo, your fonts, your colours, your everything else does actually give off that message as well. There'd be no good me being like the kind of business that wants to shout about X, Y, and Z and empowerment and, really strong female-led business. And then like my fonts and logos were like teeny tiny, intricate little designs that didn't really stand out on a page, weren't very bright colours, right? That would, I mean, it wouldn't resonate, would it? It would be like a complete contrast in message. So you do need to match those things as well. But yeah, you've got so many marketing channels these days, and I just feel like I'm a bit jealous. I wish that I'd just started a business for my beauty business back then, and it was all like this then, you know? You've got so many different marketing channels. You can be everywhere with little effort, with, you know, consistent effort, as in not little effort, but I mean, you don't have to stretch yourself too thin on every single platform. I always say, dominate one platform, but what I mean is you can still show up everywhere and be everywhere so that you're searchable for your audience. That is what I mean. And I feel like as well in this day and age, the biggest thing for me is like collaborations are much more of a thing. So in creating a really strong brand, it's really good that you can collaborate with people that are complementary to your business, but not a competitor. So if there was somebody in the area, for example, that did a really lovely different service to you, but that complemented your services and, you know, was still attractive to your ideal client, and they had an audience and you have the same audience but for different purpose, you can really get together and do things like that. And it's become more and more of a thing in the last few years where people are collabing and they're getting together and they're promoting each other's products and services, and it's a mutual benefit. And it's so much easier to do these days because everything's online. Like back in the day when you had to network and it was all face to face, and it would be like paying for this space and paying for that space. These days you don't have to do any of that. You can literally promote each other's products and services, or even hold an online event. Like there's so many opportunities out there for you. And I think if you can work together with as many people as you can and create a supportive community environment, you know, if your message is similar to somebody else's, then get in front of them and have that chat. And even if you don't collab or promote each other's services, at least you can help each other out and give each other that support, as, you know, that entrepreneurial kind of support that everybody needs in this industry. And that is what this digital age is doing for us, isn't it? It's allowing us to connect with way more people and potential clients as well than we were ever able to before. And not only that, it's allowing us to actually create that loyalty, create that, this is what it's all about. It's creating that message that people are attached to and feel, and then growing it and nurturing it. And that is what creates the loyalty. And if you can do that through engaging content where you're connecting with people, you're showing them that you are their expert, and you also get results for other clients just like them, and you're nurturing them in things like, you know, the DMs and on your stories, you're giving them that glimpse into your everyday life, and your email marketing to them as well, right? Then you are nurturing that relationship. You're building stronger relationships with people, and you're creating a sense of loyalty. I just absolutely love that. I absolutely love that. So I hope that you are listening to this and getting some inspiration and realizing that you're in such a good digital day and age to be able to create this strong brand for yourself and make your marketing really stand out from other people. Because what it's all about is creating an ongoing experience for your potential clients. They then choose you, and then they continue that experience with you as a client. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained valuable insights that will help you in your beauty business and life. If you did, please take a screenshot and tag me in your stories. If you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me on any of my socials. The links are always in the descriptions. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us improve and bring you more and more great content. Until next time, keep building that business.